Awesome. Awesome. Well, it's great to see you again, Yael. Thank you so much for coming on the new Bandorai podcast. Always excited to talk to educators, especially one such as yourself that has a really cool, unique approach, very hands-on, very forward-thinking, I think. So if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself and your business in maybe like 30 seconds, and then we'll get into some awesome questions here.
Yes, so I have a Razland art studio, and it's an art studio that teaches kids and adults different creative approaches, how to make art in the unconventional way, of course, through painting, sculpting, building, using all kinds of materials. But the great thing that we teach and we incorporate into art, not only geography, history, different cultures of the world, but also spirituality and transformation. So basically, when people, most of us, we always searching, right? This is what separates us, I guess, from anyone else, right? The human being, we're searching for answers, right?
Yeah,
And
true.
and we never stop searching. I think the only time we stop when we're not in this physical world anymore. And I was just thinking about since we talked before, I was thinking about thing that you said, thing that I said, and I understood, realized also, I talked to some other people yesterday, and I realized something incredible, that really, really we never stop asking questions. And I hope that the other people never do and stop growing. And when people think that they accomplished something, but reality, we can never accomplish everything that we're supposed to here in this world, because our souls and our potentials are so much bigger than what we think and what other people think. So I think this is more, and the more and more I'm growing, the more I'm becoming older and wiser, the more I understand how much more there is to learn. And when we think that we know something, it's a big lie, because there is another layer and another layer and another layer. So I think, and this is what I'm realizing more and more, and also about ourselves. Like, we don't really know ourselves. We think we know, but we don't. And with the art and with teaching that we have here at Razland, I think what is mostly differential is really that it's how I teach people and I never stop growing.
Yeah.
And I think this is like the most, yeah. And it's funny because I always prepare something, but then I tell my colleague, my assistant and teacher here at RAZ, I said, I can tell you now something, but I'm sure tomorrow I'm going to say something completely different, because once I say something, it's already done and I know something else.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think that, and I know we had a conversation earlier this week as well. I think that your philosophy makes your approach to art very different. Like you said, that you involve all these different disciplines is really awesome. Can you talk, yeah, a little bit more about how you have this hands-on approach and you encourage your students to have a more hands-on approach in making art?
Right. And this is another thing that, yes, like we also understood, like we need to go online. And I have people all over the world asking me, can you teach online? Yes, we can teach online, but it's not the same, because, and I was thinking about it yesterday also, and I'm listening to all this podcast and all the people that made money, and a lot of digital money, right? People make money with real estate, the biggest money with finance. But like, if you really ask anyone, show me one billionaire who made money with education. It's not many. I don't think even one. But really, to educate people and improve people. Show me one person who made money with this. Unfortunately, this is the world. This is the understanding of the world. It's on the very physical, monetary, and material understanding. But that's not what's important in life. Like, yes, we need money, because without money, we cannot do anything. But the question is, what is real? I think the question is what is real. And everybody who comes here, and the kids and the parents and people that work with me, they feel that the thing that we do is more real, because it's more understanding how the world works, how we use wisdom of Kabbalah. Because I really, truly don't even know how can anyone exist and not asking questions like, what am I doing here? What is my purpose? And most people do. And but some don't. And I think it's something really important. Like, what is my purpose? And because everything, I really believe that everything we do in life, it's creation. And we wake up in the morning, we go brush teeth, right? We go to the bathroom, we do, and then what I'm going to wear, it's art. What I'm going to cook, it's art. And it's just how we think. Do we think to create like, what is the question about? What am I doing today? Am I thinking, what can I get today? Or what can I create? How can I improve the world?
Yeah.
So this is like, what can I contribute to the world? And what is my part in this world? And some people, it could be completely different than the other, of course, because that's why we're all connected and we all need to do our part. And I really believe that through art, but it's not just art. Like for me and the way I teach art, it's not art painting or drawing or making a beautiful picture or making a beautiful creation. For me, I believe art is in everyday life. And it's really like you approach, this is really what it is. How can I help to create and make this world better? How can I bring the light of creator into this world? And this, I think, also what can motivate us, because when people just wake up and, okay, another day, another boring thing, it's boring. But if you think today will never come back, this day is given to us and it's never going to come back, then you understand, my gosh, what is it that I need to do in this day that I cannot do in any other day? And there is a certain connection. I do certain Kabbalistic prayers in the morning that helps me to understand that. And also, like what we do, we create stories, we have a book, we have scripts. And when I teach different programs. In the summer, we taught Olympics because Olympics coming to LA and everybody is excited about it. Everybody preparing LA for Olympic Games. And what is Olympic teaching? How to cultural, international, peace, right? And so we taught throughout the history from ancient Greece until a recent modern Olympic, like last year in France. Every single Olympic we took, and we made art from that period of time. What discoveries, medical discoveries, technology discoveries, what was political state. And it's interesting to see how, as much as we all strive for peace, every single Olympic was complicated, and something was boycott or Cold War or African in Canada, or it was always something.
Yeah.
And it's constant war. It's a constant war between evil and good, and constant war in our mind, constant war. Am I going to like give into my body consciousness and right, or am I going to do what my soul came here to do? So this is my approach is really like, it's really rooted in the wisdom of Kabbalah. And that's what differentiates us from anybody else. But this is also not simple, because we need to sell it. How do we sell something that is different?
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it's a beautiful thing that your beliefs and principles align really well with your business. So, but I wanted to ask, because sometimes when you start a business, like I'm a small business owner as well, um, certain experiences or as you try to grow, maybe your mindset changes about it. Did you always feel this way and think this way about art in your business, or did it kind of evolve over time?
Everything is evolving, of course, and our perspective changes. And I grew up in Ukraine. I grew up in the country that I never saw a black person. We knew that America is the evil. I completely, that everything is bad in America. There is criminal, there is a crime, there is killing, robbing, and all the bad things. And when my father went to America and came back and said, listen, everything that they tell us, it's exactly the opposite.
Wow.
And he told us, we better leave, we better go, and this is how mostly I really think that there is wars and there's problems in the world, because we see so little. We see only this area, and we're not willing to go a little bit outside. Or sometimes when we do go, because it's not who we are, it's hard for us to understand and connect to something different than us. So that's why we have a cultural art. We teach, I learned also, I studied many, many different religions, and I listened to many, many people, successful people, and they say one thing, that there are many religions, there's many different things, but there is one God, one source. There is one God, doesn't matter. And all the other religions and all that, it's just the aspects of that force of light, of that big force of light. And that's the beauty. When we start understanding it, then we stop judging other people. Then we stop judging ourselves also. And we start understanding that we are constantly evolving. And it's not that we're not, I don't ever think I'm getting old, because I feel like I'm always getting younger, but just more mature and more understanding life.
Yeah. It's cool to hear about your evolution. Yeah, for sure. I agree. We are always changing, right? Because they say that the only constant is change, right? In life.
Yeah, like in the same time,
Yeah.
everything is always existed, right? Because whatever God created in the beginning, that's what it is. It just we don't see it. But so what we change it, we're not changing the reality, we're not changing what is outside. We're changing our perspective,
Mm.
how we see it.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yeah, yeah. I agree. I don't want to get too far off the topic
Yeah,
of
of
the
art and
podcast.
business.
I wanted to uh, no, yeah, no, like, I love these conversations as well. And honestly, like, I have some good friends, and we can just go on forever with these conversations, but, I know that, like, just 'cause, we do have a little bit of constraints. I wanted to, going back to your business, and we talked about this a little bit before, what is your vision going into 2026?
Yeah. So we've done a lot of different programs. We've done character design, how to make art with stories, puppetry, musicals. We even create our own musicals. We wrote the play, the music, decorations, fashion, art, and we performed it. And it was so great that people told me, okay, I think it's ready for the Broadway. Then we create cultural art, like many, many, many weeks of all the countries and different projects. Then this summer we did all the Olympics, but it's not just like, oh, that happened. No, we went deep. We actually learned the history. We learned who the people that play sport and what they did, and even kids did this kind of sports. So we actually really do go things deeper. And so I have a lot of already programs that I've created. And I think what we need to do, also we wrote a book. I have a book on Hanukkah. And now really want to make
Oh,
this
nice.
I want to make this book into a movie because there's a lot of movies on Christmas, but not many books on Hanukkah. And
That's true.
Kabbalistic approach to different holidays. It's not religion, and it's not for Jewish people. It's the windows in the universe given to every person and every religion to become better and to get the energy of creator to use it in practical life. So the energy of Hanukkah is to create miracles. So everybody, when we light the candles for Hanukkah, we don't have to be Jewish, anyone. We connect to the hidden light that was hidden in the Garden of Eden after Adam and Eve sinned. So it's only 8 days when we have to connect to this light. So we thought we made Hanukkah like a menorah, and my Korean, Indian, Christian, Muslim friends lead it also, because it's nothing to do with Judaism. It's connecting to that light of miracle. So I have a beautiful book called The Hidden Light, time traveling and really cool about the boy. And the lesson is how we can create a miracle. Nobody can create it for us.
Mm.
So, and I want to make it as a movie. So I think we've done a lot of different programs in the past. So I think going to 2026, I really want to make it more online, more is into product. And we understood yesterday, this is what we need to do to transform our services into products.
Mhm. Okay.
And monetize it.
Yeah.
And the most important, monetize it. Because it's been struggling all the time in wide markets in this. And I spend so much time on technology, on backend, on marketing, on all the stuff. That's not who I am. I am a creative person. I create content. But all the other things like really need help with. And this is what really like now, how to, everything that we created so far, how to monetize it.
Yeah.
And bring it
For
out
sure.
and
For
bring it
sure.
out to the world, because we had it here in our space. We constantly struggle to bring people in, and we brought many people from 150 schools in Los Angeles, other states, other countries, from Egypt, Austria, Australia, Ethiopia, where else? South Africa, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, where? Many other places. People came to us, South Korea, Taiwan, Philippines. We had people 1 week that didn't speak any language, any English. One, we had Japanese girl, a Chinese, Vietnamese boy, and they didn't speak English.
But they can make
But
art,
we made art.
right?
That's a beauty of art.
Right, right.
That's a beauty of art. You make, because, and I think this is also why sometimes people use art as a therapy, because not everybody can communicate what they want, the vision, but they can show it. Like not everybody can sing, not everybody can act, can dance, right? But they can create, make things, and that's how they communicate. So
Very true. Yeah.
yeah. So now I feel
Mm.
like after we've done, but it's hard because you need to constantly bring marketing, bring people in. I think what we need to do now, instead of bringing people in, we need to take all our stuff and take it out.
I see. I see. Yeah. I totally get that. And you know what, there's a lot of resources to do that nowadays, right? Because I do think that more and more the world and the market is more and more global each day. And so I think that your vision makes sense. So like some things I'm hearing, coming into 2026, you really want to uh, sort of make merchandise a little bit, right? Like make products, monetize these things that you're creating, and bring things out to people, kind of connect the product and the service to the consumer, to the other businesses, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. What are some of the pain points or the obstacles that you're currently facing with that, would you say?
So I think this is it. This is the pain point is that I feel like not enough people know about us, right? And also to really make it really profitable, to make it like start like small by small, and to make things in the level that it actually make money, make profit. That's it. I think that's the most well for everyone to know, right? That, like you used to ask if I had a magic wand, right? That's a good question. I'm going to answer this. I
Y-
can't wait for that
Yeah,
question.
please. I'm excited for that. It's a good one for you, right? I think.
It's a good one for me. Like yes. So this is the pain. The pain is uh, whatever the beautiful things that we have, how to complete it. Also, there is certain time in the time, right? There's certain time that we have. And I'm one person, and I don't ever want to work by myself. I envision Razland to become, that's why it's called Razland, not Raz Studio, not Raz, I don't know, art. But because I want it to be as a land, I want to create a creative city where the creative individual can live and create in the same place. That's my bigger vision. That would be fun. And create, like have a school where people, when kids can just also create and learn real things in life, not nonsense and things that they never use in life, but everything practical. So this is my vision, and the pain point that I want, like it's only me and few people that see this vision, like how to make my vision clear so everyone can come and help me. So the magic wand, if I had the magic
Yeah.
wand, I would. We were laughing yesterday with Lily, with my teacher. We were laughing so hard because I told her, I wish everybody in the world would see my vision and help me to manifest it. It's funny, but like I'm like, yeah, let's create everybody into zombies.
That's the magic wand. Just make everyone. We're just
Everybody
gonna be
create.
like Rosland.
Yes, yes. And
Yeah.
not only this, but also, okay, what can I do to make it happen? How can I bring the light of God to this world? How do I make the Garden of Eden in this planet? Stop the
Mm,
wars. Stop wasting money on nonsense weapons, money and enough the stupid nonsense. Let's create. Let's make things
mm.
beautiful. Let's transform negative to positive. So this is my magic wand.
Awesome. So yeah, it's like the magic that would help you with your business, but it also has an impact on the rest of the world.
Yes, I mean, my
Yeah,
business is
yeah.
all about the rest of the world. I have nothing, it's everything that I do is for the world to become better and for me to become better.
Mm. Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Um, Thank you so much, Yael. It was great having you on, hearing your wisdom, hearing more about your business. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Virtu.